back. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Talkative Sports Podcast, football podcast. My fault. It's me, Marcus, and Shegs here again with you today. We're missing out on Zach. We'll catch him next week. Well, no, not next week. As you know, after this episode, we're going to be going on break. It's international break for football, and you know the vibe. When they're on break, we on break. So when you won't be expecting another episode until that Wednesday or Friday, right after matches resume, the weekend matches resume. And on that episode, hopefully Zach will be back. And on top of that, we will be having a returnee from season 1. Stay tuned. He may be joining us late today. We'll see. If not, stay tuned. But with that, we'll kick things off with the match of the weekend, which may be the match of the season. Dun, dun, dun. Nah. But Manchester City,
at least
Chelsea.
it's so far.
What do you say?
At least it's the match of the season so far.
Oh, you think so, huh?
I mean, has there been any higher scoring game this year? For when both teams decided to show up, has there been a game that decided things at the top more? Well, for one team at least, but yeah, as a Chelsea fan, definitely are.
I mean, was this really a decider for Manchester City though? Because I mean, the last international break, we went into the break, lost to Arsenal, and Arsenal was in the lead, I believe. Arsenal or Spurs. All I know is we were third. Now we're going into this international break. We are 2 points clear at the top. So was this really a decider? Because unless we lost, I would say that's really the bad news. That would be for our side. But a draw or a win, I don't know.
I think being 1 point clear at the top is a lot worse than being 3 points clear.
Oh, we're 1 point.
Get my vibe. Like, because you also have to play the second place team, Liverpool, the first game back.
Not concerned.
It's kind of, look, I would say it's kind of important. It's really important because these points do count. According to the stats, this is the most competitive Premier League season in about 15 years. The top 4 have the most points in the Premier League ever.
Oh, okay. From that perspective, okay. Because I'm thinking even back when during the Leicester City's dream year, wasn't it competitive? And then the one time Chelsea won it in between of Manchester City and Liverpool. I mean,
we can discuss how competitive it was compared to those 2 seasons, but this season the top 4 have the most points ever at this stage in the season for a Premier League. So wow. I can say it's one of the most competitive, especially when you look at the top 10 and the teams and the quality they have compared to those last 2 seasons. There's only really one team that is expected, of the big 5, big 6 that is underperforming, and unfortunately it's my Chelsea. But if you look at the teams in the top,
Manchester United is performing as expected?
Yeah.
So you're saying people expected them to be this bad?
I'm saying the only people that expected them to be better are Man U fans. So
I don't have a rebuttal.
I mean, what did we give them for their preseason grading? I think we gave them D's and C's. So
are you sure I didn't give them an F?
I think you might have been the one who gave them an F.
I'm pretty sure I gave them an F.
So they got D's and F's. Okay, we were not kind to them, and I think I think they actually should be lower because, like, the way they're able to shit house 1-0 wins away from home when they have a midfielder scoring needs to be studied. How they can, like, Fergie time, then all of a sudden a random midfielder pops up and scores. It's props to them because they're still in the running. They're actually not that far off. Like Champions League, they're 5 points behind Spurs. So props to them for still being alive, I guess. But like they're out of the Champions League basically. So hey,
I think a rough patch is coming soon for them. I mean,
a rougher patch.
if they haven't already been in a rough patch, but I
You
think an
think
even
that's
rougher patch.
worse? This is
I
their
think yeah,
worst start
yeah,
to a Premier League season in their history, and they're
it's
still sixth. They're 7 points
it is.
behind the Man City. Like it's so funny. Like it just like puts in perspective how far they've fallen. But at the same time, like the fall isn't that far. It's just been consistent, just mid from them since Mourinho left, because Mourinho won trophies. Ten Hag won a trophy last year, but I don't think that any other manager in between that won anything. So it's like,
Mm-mm,
is Ten Hag
mm-mm.
that guy? Will he last till January? I mean, all things considered, I think they're
Can they
exactly where
afford
they're
to sack
supposed
him?
to be.
Can they afford to sack him? But that's a
If
conversation
you
for another
sack
day.
him, who are they gonna hire?
That's a conversation for another
Who
day.
wants
Let's
to?
bring it back. Let's bring it back to Manchester City, Chelsea. Now, from the Manchester City side, the draw, there's not really much for them. I mean, the as far as the game goes, the defending, Guardiola, Jesus Christ, Sterling and Cole Palmer, they gave him issues. And he is a center back playing out wide as a left back, and if it's one thing center backs don't like doing at all, it's playing either wing back. Um, there's something about comfort being in the middle of the pitch rather than being alone and isolated on the sides.
And ran
And
that all game
facts,
by somebody who
facts,
looks at them and like, yeah, I can dribble this guy. It's
facts. Especially when it's somebody like Sterling. Now, on the flip side, I guess one advantage Guardiola had was, he wasn't there at City when Sterling was there, so he should have been able to take advantage of that. But as the game went on, it was getting rougher and rougher. And to be honest, at times, although Ake has done a good job, I don't know if he would have. I don't know if he would have done a better job on the day because I think Sterling was on something.
Didn't you
Um,
guys make Garvidal the most expensive center back of all time?
oh yeah, oh yeah. Listen, the
So,
reason why the reason why he's being him, Ake, and a few others being rotated at the left side is because that left side has been an issue since Benjamin Mendy. Benjamin Mendy was bought to actually shore up that left side, and then Mendy was Mendy, and so it's just been a revolving door. Ake has come in and bought and put some solidity in there, but like even him, he's vulnerable to mistakes at times because that's not his natural position. And so going forward, I think this game has really shown us that we need to be in the market for a left back
what
in
happened to
January.
Cancelo?
Listen, bro. Listen. First off, Cancelo, he was he was prone to being counterattacked because he as much as he would go up, his defensive work rate wasn't as high as we'd like it. And secondly, you know, we can't have those character issues in the squad.
Hey, hey, Cucurella is available for 100 mil. In case
You
y'all are
know,
interested.
you know. I'm sure he would have been on the list, but we know you're gonna price up a storm, so we're not even interested. Now, that's that's the Manchester City side, at least from my opinion. Really, left back is an issue. Other than that, the game kind of went out as I expected it to be from the Manchester City side, anyways. Now, the big surprise, and where I think there's more of a story here, is from Chelsea. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not expect that at all. Not at all. You guys were vibrant. You guys were sure from the moment the whistle started and the kickoff was made, you were on it after it. Um, we disagree on Jackson because I think Jackson was back to his usual, ghost form until he scored. The thing is about Jackson, right?
Ghost form. Put some
The
respect
thing
on
is, listen.
name.
And this is see, this is how I know. This is how I know he got you. This is the thing about Jackson, right? Jackson has perfected the skill of disappearing and then showing up when you ask yourself the question, where the hell is Jackson? When you're watching the game
What else
and
do you
when
want
you're
from
watching the
him,
game, the
though?
moment you ask yourself, where is Jackson? That's when he's doing something on the ball
What do you expect from Jackson?
to
He
score
was
goals.
not supposed to lead the line, but here he is leading Chelsea in goal scoring. You might say he ghosts a little bit during games, but his
A
link up
little
is absolutely vital to our attack. And recently, he's been getting his goals. He's been getting really important goals. So it's like Jackson is doing exactly what he's
important
supposed to.
goals.
Jackson is
Name
doing.
the important goals, please. Name the important goals. You got one with against us.
Well,
You got one
3
against us.
against Spurs, very important. All his goals have been goals to either tie
Against
the game or put
against
us back.
who?
He hasn't.
Against who?
Look, Jackson is not a stat pattern like Haaland, where he
Oh,
scored
don't
and
give
scored
me
2-0
that.
up. Like, come on, come on. Put
Don't
some
give me
respect
that.
on Jackson. Don't make me go look at the stats, because you know when I look at the stats, I come back with facts that prove that this guy is real. And by the way, let me just
You know
clarify.
those stats are inflated because of
Let me,
Spurs.
let me just clarify something real quick.
9 men.
Let me just clarify something. Okay, 9 men. I know this was gonna come, but when Spurs won against 9 men Liverpool, were we looking at any of those guys like, oh, it's against 9 men, it doesn't count? Like, come on, you cannot
I
discount
mean,
the
the guys,
count the 20
the
year.
character. Hold on. The characters that won that game were the usual characters that were actually showing up all season. So there was nothing to question.
But
But
still,
all of a sudden, the guy that hasn't been showing up at all season,
clarify my point real
feasts
quick.
on 9 men,
I want to
and now all
clarify.
of a sudden he's doing his job.
Can I clarify my point about Jackson?
My fault. My
Nicholas
fault. Go ahead, finish. My
Jackson
fault. Go ahead, finish.
is 21. This is
Mm-hmm.
just his second season in top flight
Mm-hmm.
football. He came
Mm-hmm.
from Senegal, is it, to Villarreal. He didn't really get on the radar to the second half of the season, and then
Mm-hmm.
boom, he's at Chelsea. Nobody expected Jackson to be leading the line at all. That was not. We were expecting him to play with either Kai Havertz or Nkunku and be the second striker for one of those two. Kai Havertz, thankfully, was bought by Arsenal, and now, okay, well, like, yes, let Jackson and Nkunku cook. But
The way you
unfortunately,
and
there
Zach
was an
have
injury, and now we have Jackson being thrust into the spotlight. He is not any worse than, let's say, Darwin Nunes, who's actually, really, if you look at the stats, cooking. He is not any worse than Ivan Toney, who has zero.
Darwin Nunes has been cooking lately. Don't compare him to Ivan Toney. Stop it.
Armando Broja, who won that last penalty. He is better than Armando Broja. He's been there. Like, I think it's unfair to judge Jackson and expect him to be an elite goal scorer. And, like what do you expect from?
I'm
He
not
is
expecting him to be elite. I'm
he
just
is
expecting him to score.
Nicholas Jackson is like when you hire an intern to, just send faxes and fix the printer, but then the person reports to get fired, and all of a sudden this guy is expected to pick up the slack. That's Nicholas Jackson for you. So every goal Jackson scores is like it's like a precious community, and it should be applauded. It shouldn't be downgraded because the dude is doing way better than any of us.
So I have
Chelsea
so,
striker
okay.
is not easy. You
So I
know
have two
this.
questions
The
for you.
last Chelsea striker to score a hat trick was about 5 years ago, and it was Morata. Like, come on, man! Like, just
So I,
do it. We're not saying Nicholas Jackson is reinventing the wheel or he's the best striker, but for what he's done and the goals he scored and the way he plays and
Mhm.
how he's improving, I give him like a B minus overall. I don't think he's that. I don't think he's amazing, but I don't think he's terrible either. He's
for
good value,
for
and we also only signed him
for
for 30 mil. So, like, what more do you expect from the kid?
for everything he's done thus far this season, you give him a B minus.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give him a
I'm
B
sorry, bro.
minus.
It's a
Like,
C.
he's the
It's a C.
leading striker at a club that can't score goals. At a club
It's a. He's part of the reason why you can't score
where
goals.
no striker has been able to score goals. It
Okay.
doesn't, like, come on now,
So here's my okay. So I have two questions. I have two questions. All right. The first one, right? Both of them. Let me preface both questions by saying this: this performance was your best performance of the season. probably your best performance in the last 2 years. With that being said,
I disagree.
you disagree?
Yeah.
Hold on. Before I even give you the questions, why do you disagree? Do you think you've performed better
Yeah,
than Sunday?
I think this result is the culmination of all of Chelsea's results. I think Manny is here to join us. Shall we let him in? Hey yo, welcome back.
Welcome.
Back. Um,
Returnee from season 1, we got Manny,
Manny,
the
you might.
resident Arsenal fan of the podcast. Thank you for joining us. You might want to, move your camera so you're actually in the middle, boss.
Well, yes, man, you came in at the perfect time because we're discussing Nicholas Jackson, okay? And
He's
please,
a
Arsenal agendas are not welcome here. We'll get to you. We'll get to you. But like I was saying, like Nicholas Jackson has been very decent for what he's done. He's not the best striker, but he's also not the worst striker. And also, it's not easy to lead the line for Chelsea. It's not the job we hired him to do. It was supposed to be Nkunku, by the way. Nkunku is back after the international break, so I think we see
So
most of
first
him.
off, Nkunku said he's a second striker. He's not a striker, so you want a second striker playing behind a second striker.
Who
So
and
that's my first one.
source?
Second, Manny, to catch you up, right? We're giving we're giving grades to Nicholas Jackson for the game on well, not just the game. He's given
Season
grades for Nicholas Jackson on everything he's done this season, and the grade he's given him is a B or
minus.
B minus. B
My
minus. That's what he's giving him. Me, I said C, but now I'm giving him a C minus because I'm really thinking about it. It's a firm C minus. Firm
I
C minus. Firm C minus. Now, Manny, what say you? You've already heard the little bit of his spiel trying to talk up Jackson. A lot of which has to do with Spurs, 9 men.
Put it this way. I personally feel like he would definitely be a C minus. I think that very well fitted mainly, and this is why. If you look at the type of goals that he scored, one, he's doing his job. He's a striker. He's supposed to score goals, tap ins, whatever, what be it. He's supposed. But the association of a striker, what comes with a striker, is not just scoring goals. A good striker has to be able to sometimes drop. Look at the likes of, if we're comparing the position, Holland. If we look at the likes of,
it's not fair.
Look at
What you mean?
look at a basic strike. Look at the Newcastle strikers. He doesn't do what Callum Wilson does. He doesn't does what Ferguson guy.
Isak's definitely better.
Of course he is, but Isak is a player who's entering his prime. Jackson is a kid.
It don't work like that in the Prem. Come on. Saka was 18.
Context is important, though. Context and Callum Wilson has been scoring Premier League goals for how many seasons?
Yeah,
this
is
Jackson's second season in the top four.
But look at people. If you're saying kids, we have kids on our team. We have literally children. Like when our people started, when this whole thing started 3-4 years ago, then people was 18, then people was 17, and they were performing. It wasn't up to what we need.
What striker did you have that's comparable in Nketiah?
Huh?
What striker do you have that's comparable to Nketiah? Like who can we compare him to that sets the grade?
It wasn't even a striker. That's the thing. It wasn't even a striker. The position that the kids were in, and they were getting goals. It wasn't a main job to get goals. They're supposed to assist.
Bro, when Saka first came into the team,
in the striker position.
Bro, when Saka first came into the team, they were playing him at left back and right back.
Left back and right back, and he was still scoring goals. That's the craziest.
So what? Do you guys expect Nicholas Jackson to be star boy or to be Haaland?
What do you mean star boy? I'm not a skeptic. Listen,
do more for your team because you also have a high caliber of players around him.
Yes.
If you had just goofies around him, okay, I get it.
Yes.
Like if it's like he has maybe like 2 other decent players and everybody's like struggling. Yeah, okay, I get that. But look who he has around him, bro. He should be and they practice it's
to be honest, he should be double digits already. He should be double-digit goals already.
I fully believe that.
All comps. It should be double-digit goals. All comps.
in the past 6 years has reached double digits at this point in the season. Let's just put it that.
We're not going off.
Nobody has.
Off of the
And we
games
had a better team.
No, I'm just looking at the games you've played and the chances that have been created. For every goal that Jackson has scored, I can give you 2 highlights of him missing a goal.
He has 7 expected goals. XG is 7.
Yeah, shift the camera so you're in the middle, bro.
It's not in the middle?
No, yeah. You are not in the middle.
It's because no.
But look, I just think like as a Chelsea fan, our team is not complete. We're not cooking at 100%. So I don't expect Jackson to like really be killing it. I just appreciate him for what he's done. You guys rated him a C-. Honestly, I'm just gonna accept that. Because maybe my bias took it up to a B-. Maybe it's a C+. But
give it a couple more games.
That he's not the worst striker.
Put it this way.
He's also not the best, but he's definitely gonna get much better than what he.
Put it this way. Give it to like the end of January, like because again, like now that he's gotten those tapping quote unquote goals, confidence is built a little bit. He's shooting now that like things is happening. So give it now. Maybe he's entering a little zone where he can really show what is worth to the team. And your team they're gelling too. You guys are you scored 4 goals against Man City. Like you guys are getting some type of form and gel.
At the same time, you also gave up 4 goals at home.
I mean, it is acceptable though. Like conceding 4 goals against the champions, I think we definitely outplayed Man City in that game.
Crazy,
crazy point because our goals against y'all were like we cooked to get those goals. Well, like at least 2 of your goals are just defensive mistakes, and that's just Chelsea. Right?
4 is acceptable. It's crazy.
But here's my last question on the game.
Right? Away from
specifically for Chelsea. So, is this performance and draw against the reigning champions a springboard for the future? Do you see you carrying momentum?
We're back.
Waving the flag. Waving the flag.
I'm starting to think Chelsea are back right now. I am starting to think they are back. Like honestly, like I know I'm a fan. I'm biased, but I'm starting based on what I saw that game. Like I was nearly moved to tears when that Cole Palmer goal went in. I was like, oh God, we played so well. I'm gonna lose again. And we've had really good performances. We performed against Arsenal and we blew the 2-0 lead. Like it was like 67 minutes, and we're like, how are we in the lead right now?
You didn't blow it, but we took it. So
yeah, I mean, Sanchez blew it. He gave away the goal, and then we like capitulated. But we had that opening game against Liverpool, and we looked like we should have won so many games against top. The thing about Chelsea, I'll say, we play to the level of our opposition. If we play a good team, we somehow remember how to play well. When we play a Brentford, we get smacked.
No, I told you. I said this in the group chat. You guys only know how to get up for the big boys. Anybody your level or below, it's done. It's a done deal.
That is the learning curve with Chelsea right now with this project with Pochettino. I think we're only going to get better. We're still 10th. We've only won 4 games out of 12. Like, I can't. Like, I know I said Chelsea are back because I expect better from them. I expect better from Jackson, Sterling, everybody. By the way, I apologize for him, Sterling, but also I'm not sorry because
oh my gosh,
he took him a lot of, but
he is doing exactly what I wanted from him.
Oh, he's cooking.
So, hey,
but here's the problem me and Zach had with you though.
Did you see what he did to Doku? Oh my God, he cooked the person that's been cooking everybody else.
No, yo.
He forced Doku off the pitch, bro. We have to get him off.
So
he forced him off the pitch.
No winger has done that in the last 3 years. Even when Kyle Walker played Mbappe, nothing like he locked Mbappe down. He dropped Kyle Walker.
It's because they know each other. He knows every move that he was gonna do. Like,
he's been playing this game since like last season. He's been like,
because the last time
I'm gonna get my lick back.
The last time he played Man City, he wasn't doing all this.
I mean, because he didn't have the squad with him. He had at least Kyle Walker with him. You didn't see from the moment it said go, it was him and Kyle Walker on us. It was the press from those two was ridiculous. Ridiculous. You saw how many times we lost possession early up in the pitch on the pitch. In our half, we were losing possession. We could at times we couldn't even make it back to the halfway. Man, Rodri was making uncharacteristic mistakes, and I'm just like, was it uncharacteristic or was it the press? I had to give credit where credit is due.
Now, more of it.
So, Manny, Man City, Chelsea, game of the season so far.
I definitely
anything else.
Nah, that was tough.
All right, so we got the answer on that.
Yeah,
moving on to the biggest controversy of the season, probably, and one that I know is going to hurt dear Manny in his chest, seeing as he's the resident Arsenal fan. Reactions to what has been released, the VAR audio behind the Newcastle Arsenal goal. In that game, the final goal scored by Anthony Gordon, in which there was 3 checks made in that VAR. Now, the video, if you haven't seen it, it's on Twitter. If you follow at Talkative Sports on Twitter, we've definitely retweeted it, so you can definitely go look at that. So now, if you don't want to listen to the 4-minute video, here's a quick rehash. So the 3 checks that needed to be checked. The ball went out at the corner line. There was a potential offside, and then there was a potential foul on Joelinton. Now, if you watch the video, they do mention a handball, but the handball wasn't checked because they could not, from all the angles they had, they couldn't tell where the ball went. They had a bad angle. There you go. So those are the 3 main things they checked.
They could not find one.
What is it?
They said out of 89 camera angles that they had in the stadium, they could not find one.
In the 4-minute video, they actually spent a long time cycling through the angles. That's really what took the check so long.
Things like this happen in life. They do happen.
So
it's a crazy because first of all, it wasn't out of play and it wasn't offside. The foul that wasn't apparently according to people.
Elaborate on how it wasn't out of play.
So here's what if you watch the video, here's what they said. The VAR operator said, while Joelinton had his hands outstretched and on, was it Gabriel's back?
Yeah, Gabriel's neck.
On Gabriel's back.
Head.
He said that there was no. What you say?
Literally the back
of his head, neck area.
Back of his head, neck area. Now, the VAR operator said that there was not any physical evidence that he saw in any force that Joelinton put for Gabriel to fly away like the way he did.
Basically, he said he flopped.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
I'm not jacking that, respectfully. The reason I'm not jacking that is based off of pure physics. If 2 people are jumping, one, there's no way I'm jumping like this. Why am I jumping like this? If I'm not using force and I'm going up, my hand is not just stretched out like this. My hand is here. It's here. Like it's in a motion to jump. The person in front of me is jumping. I'm trying to get him out the way to get to this ball. I'm doing this. There's no physical explanation for it. The camera's caught it. Like why?
Just hold the space so the ball came so he could send it over.
Like this. It wasn't even like a chest. But apart from that, if you're in Gabriel's position, if you're just standing still and it pushes you, you're not flying like that. Even if you flop, you have to be in motion for you to get that kind of momentum that he got. Like, you have to be in motion. So, and why wouldn't Gabriel jump? He's a defender. He's a good.
So do you think that they thought that the momentum from his own jump is what propelled him forward rather than the push?
They just didn't want to give it. That's what it was.
I think what they said is they don't have sufficient evidence.
It caused too much controversy. Yeah, it
was like an actual foul, or it was something that was obvious and that they needed to overturn. The same as the ball that went out of play. It was.
Yeah, you explain your thoughts on that, Chegg.
I think that honestly, first of all, 89 cameras and they can't get a good view, like a direct view. It's kind of
overhead camera though. That's the thing. There's no overhead camera.
Yeah, that's like 89 cameras. You don't have one directly above the touch line to.
They don't have one. They don't have one. They just have a bunch of different ones from they have all angles except the one you need to account for the curvature of the ball. That's what they said in the video.
It wasn't offside. We can put that one away. But the curvature of the ball,
because of the keeper kept everybody on.
Even the foul too. It's like do they need more cameras? Is that the solution
Not
here?
more
Because
cameras, but
the view we saw, I know that how football works, even if it looks like it's
yeah,
if it's the whole ball has to be over the line
out
for
the
it to be out of play. And it did not look like the whole ball was over the line, knowing how physics works and how the line is going and the curvature of the ball. So I think that while it may have been a correct call, VAR still dropped the ball on that for the angles, how long it took them to decide, and just how VAR operates. Because it's like
I'm not gonna lie,
these guys are
I
running
fully
scared
believe
now, and they don't even trust themselves to make decisions.
once they made the decision on the pitch, whatever it is that's going on between Arsenal and the ref department, once they made that decision, like they were like, they saw one, they saw two. Everybody was trying to delegate who was gonna make the decision to call something.
Yeah, like nobody was
Nobody was
trying
calling.
to take responsibility, not
Nobody was
the
being,
referee on the pitch, not
and
the
they're like, okay, we're just not gonna change the decision on the pitch on the pitch to avoid controversy. And now they didn't. In that moment, respectfully, I don't think they think that stuff is gonna get out like crazy. Nobody's thinking. But one of them caught it at the end and was like, I think somebody said like not again or something like that, or something like something of that sort. So they were aware of like something that's going on here. Like we're not speaking up. Like we should be doing something, but they let it go. That's why Arteta was like, bro, certain things is just like now it's just funny. If you see how many times Saka gets attacked and they just brush it off, brush it off, brush it off. Like, and we try, we keep the peace, but now it's like it's little things like this that cost you a season.
I I definitely agree.
So I think I might be on the opposite side here. So for this situation strictly alone, for the process of VAR, considering how bad they've been all season, I think they actually did a good job here. Now, for me personally, I thought that the only thing that needed to be checked was the foul call on Joe Linton. Watching it live, I thought it was a 50-50 call. I didn't think either way, if they called it for Arsenal or against Arsenal, I was not I was thinking, yo, it's football. Those type of things happen. I've seen it get called outside of the box. I've seen it get called in the box. So it's really dependent on how they perceive it on the day. And then after hearing the video saying, and that's why, like, if you watch the video, right, the first thing the VAR operator does is everybody is talking. You're hearing the fourth assistant, the linesman, everybody's talking in his ear, and he's like, hey, I need the referee to tell me what the on-field decision is, because that's what starts it. And then it's the ref that says on-field decision is goal. So then he said, all right, from the on-field decision as goal, now the entirety of the check is to see if the on-field decision as goal is wrong. And the main thing that he repeated throughout the video was, I'm not seeing conclusive evidence to change the on-field decision. I'm not seeing conclusive evidence to change the on-field decision.
That part is blasting.
But still, even if they did,
like,
let's just assume the call is correct. The process sucks. The process is not good enough. They don't have all the views they need.
Yeah,
and even it's like they need to set a standard that they adhere to, because like, okay, if it's a 50-50 ball in the box, it's not like the referee flips a coin depending on what team he supports the most. There has to be, like, me personally, I'd say if it's a 50-50 in the box and it's not clear, award the goal, because that's better for football overall. But they need to establish that as a standard going forward, and they need to have it in every single game, and they need to be able to do it.
Have you guys seen the pattern also that refs have against our team in the box? Like, starting with the time of, like, when I don't know who we were playing. It was David Luiz, and David Luiz was running in front of somebody, and his cleats hit the knee, and they called it. I still don't get that, but that's a whole nother thing. But starting from respectfully, in the box, we get, even on our own box, we get penalty calls on us for what we wouldn't get on the other side. Like, it's just very, and like, in football it happens. You watch teams, it happens to people. It happens. Ref makes, but with us, it's very consistent.
Yeah, before the advent of VAR, we would just say, "Oh yeah, the refs." We just live with it. But now that VAR exists, they like, now. Me personally, I would gather all the heads of all 20 clubs and sue PGMOL. and sue them and sue the hell out of them.
You have more people. I'm not understanding.
Now, what would the lawsuit be, though? What would the lawsuit be? Malpractice? Like, what is it? Like,
they're not doing the right things.
Crimes against football.
crimes against football.
Yeah, the standard of refereeing it affects everybody in the pyramid because like those are points. That's money for those clubs. That's money lost. It's like we need. We have the best league in the world. Like Arteta said. Now, I don't agree with everything Arteta said. I don't think it was that much of a disgrace the way he was trying to
Definitely was not.
It is because the amount of time happened at this point.
Hold on. I was waiting. Hold on. Wait. Shakes, let me stop. Let me stop you real quick. No. First off, it was not as much as disgrace as you said. And second, Arteta was being hypocritical because just if you go back to our October against the Liverpool match, when you know that VAR helped you and disallowed an actual goal from Liverpool, what did he say? What did he say in the post-match press conference? He said, "Oh, we need to let them do their job. We need to be considerate. You know, it's not easy to be a referee." So what happened to that Arteta? Now all of a sudden it's a disgrace
because this is not the first one for this season.
Man, don't give me that.
Second one for this season. It's kind of wild.
I think we could definitely file.
Only 10 games in, 11 games in. What's going on?
We could definitely file it under like hypocrisy because when it hits you, that's when it hurts. When it's for you, it doesn't. Every team is going to get bad calls, but we're also going to get.
But you will get your good
calls. What we need is consistency.
Yeah, because I agree with you on the consistency. I definitely agree with that consistency. But the thing is, like, what I feel like Arteta is saying, like this season. We got the good one, but like it's not only us that have gotten bad ones. Like in terms of the standard for the best league in the world, like if this was happening in La Liga, you'd hear it very obviously. They have their own, they have their own downfalls and
but actions.
But if stuff like this was happening in France, it'd be very loud. Like but in England, it's consistent, and it's not just my personal team, Arsenal. Man, you gets it. Man, like everybody gets it. Like,
I understand. I understand what you are saying, but that's not what Arteta said, and that's not what Arsenal said. Because Arsenal doubled down on Arteta on what Arteta said, and then now they sent a report to PGMOL, but all the examples that they put in the report was just Arsenal examples. Now, if you were truly talking about the whole league, why didn't you put all the league's examples in there? Why you only put Arsenal?
Hold on, I started adding my side onto what I agree
with. Okay. No, I thought you were discussing from Arsenal's point of view. I was just like...
When I started saying France and up, that's on me. That's my personal.
Okay.
But the reason I felt Arteta said that is because it's happened to... it's happened to us a lot this year. It's happened in the past with manager Maguire, but this season, it's happened, and like it's happening now that it's like if it happened in the game and say the game ended like tied, or the game ended like 1-1 or whatever, or the game.
Right. Nobody cares.
Or they scored an actual goal, like another goal. Like we get that, but like this is like things that's like deciding the factor, like 3 points or not.
Yeah, it literally decided who was top of the league. So I can understand why Arsenal are mad. I just think it needs to be. Players, there needs to be like everybody needs to realize they're on the same side against VAR. Like
that part too.
Like let's stop like taking it club by club. Like, oh, you did this against me, and then somebody says, oh, but they did this against me. No, VAR sucks. The ref sucks. Let's all come together and joint.
We can say that here, but it's not going to be like that on the end.
I think the issue with VAR, I don't think I don't think it sucks, right? I just think it's incomplete, right? Because what it is, all it did was just add another referee to the game. But if you, but here's the thing. If you add this the actual animated components, like the animated semi offside, like all the goal line technologies, that instead of keeping it within the goal line, if you add that same goal line technology to pretty much extend it to corner flag, so then another situation like this, so we know what. So what are you saying?
They do it in the World Cup.
That's the thing. That's
the thing. VAR, so World Cup, VAR in the World Cup was perfect. If you could just take that and use it in the Premier League, that's it.
Is it like a formal because of the location? They had more money in that country.
But
Like,
here's the thing. I think it's more about PGMO. They just have too much power. We need to take the human element. The worst part about VAR is not like the goal line or the decision. It's that we still have a human element. That
Yeah.
things like if a ball is out of play shouldn't be up to the referees. It should just be a green or
boom.
red on his watch.
Yeah.
Boom. You know,
Because
think
technology
like
do that
outside.
now.
We don't need
Also,
human beings
we need to
need the robot to draw the line and send it to the referee instantly. Boom.
not even just for offside. We need something to automate to be able to check who knocks balls out. Because referees this season, I've seen just giving goal kicks when it should be corners. I've
Even
seen that happen a lot this
you say
season.
points of contact, like where the ball, like they have a chip I think they had in the World Cup that will tell you exactly where it touches, and they had so many cameras that they could build a 3D model of the game and replay the game, and it's just the model. So it's like the Premier League needs to adapt that as soon as possible, and
I mean,
especially if they use
we
I mean,
this.
to have that stadium, to have that camera set up in every stadium. Talk Manchester United. The way those them guys don't want to invest.
in the
Luton Town.
why?
Luton Town just came up. They couldn't even play home games this season because their stadium wasn't ready yet to be at regular Premier League standards. So now
If we sue the Premier League, they will have to pay for that to install in every stadium in England. Like that's on them.
Yeah, the Premier League can do it.
They have the money. All the fines we got, they get.
They have the money.
Every time a Tete gets sent off, they make money off of that.
You don't understand how much it would be because for some stadiums you'll have to actually add the infrastructure for you to even be able to install.
No, the thing is they would have to get another.
That's necessary. They just have to make it happen.
But put it like this: I think the way it's gonna roll out is gonna roll out with the top teams, like maybe the top 10 teams first. That's what it's gonna roll. Because respectfully, also if you say Luton Town, are they going to be here next year? We don't know yet. Like they're doing.
But that's another thing you have to consider. Because that's money the Premier League is using.
Yeah,
so if you're going to do that, that means you have to do that like
you
can't start with just a team. You have to do it division wide.
Yeah, it
has to be something that has to happen all at once.
Other competitions lowered, but it has to start now. Like, look, if I'm pretty sure if you Premier League go to Chelsea, like, yo, you need 90 more cameras in your stadium. It's done. Todd Bowley is signing that check. Man City can afford it. Arsenal, Liverpool, the big teams that these decisions actually.
Oh, I don't know about Liverpool. I don't know about Liverpool. I mean, let's be honest, man. I'm just being honest.
Liverpool will pay that because they want to make sure.
No, bro. Do you know who runs Liverpool? The father from Everybody Hates Chris runs Liverpool. The father from Everybody Hates Chris runs Liverpool. Them guys are so cheap, yo. If you told them you had a sale 3 for $1, they'd still try to get you to drop it down to 25 cents. That's how cheap they are.
Yo, funniest thing I've seen this season is when Klopp went on the podium and said, "We want a replay." Boy, if you don't go sit down anyway, sit down somewhere. You want a replay? You fine men.
Okay. All right. I think that brings us to the end of yet another episode. If you've been rocking with us for this long, as always, we appreciate you. And as I mentioned before, season 1 returnee Manny, he's here for the long haul. He's going to be a regular schmegular addition going forward. Hey, you know what it is. You know the vibes. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, family, all that good stuff. If I haven't mentioned it before, we are now available on all your favorite podcasting places, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that good stuff. So take us wherever you go, even at work. And last, as I mentioned again, international break. When they on break, we on break. We won't see you again until the first week after games resume. And with that, that's it. We'll catch you on the next one.